Honda just revealed its 2026 lineup. And if you're a longtime Harley rider, what's inside should get your attention fast. This wasn't a minor refresh. Honda is bringing back proven platforms, cutting weight, lowering heat, and undercutting Harley's prices in ways Milwaukee simply can't match right now. Several of these machines target the exact riders Harley depends on. If the early numbers are accurate, this could be the moment Honda claws into territory Harley once owned. Watch until the end, because the biggest warning sign for Harley comes from Honda's most unexpected model. Number 7. Honda Shadow Phantom. Some machines carry the kind of quiet confidence that reminds seasoned riders why simplicity used to rule the streets. The Shadow Phantom holds to that old-school idea with quiet confidence. It does not chase headlines or attempt to look futuristic. It focuses on balance, feel, and the steady rhythm of a cruiser that does exactly what a cruiser should. For many riders who lived through the peak years of American street culture, this style feels familiar in a way modern shapes rarely do. It is the kind of motorcycle that brings back the memory of long evenings on open roads, when wind protection and rider comfort mattered more than digital menus or touchscreen displays. That familiarity becomes the hook that pulls veteran riders in, offering a reminder of why they fell in love with the road in the first place. The Shadow Phantom keeps a calm, grounded presence that older riders appreciate. It does not overwhelm with weight, noise, or unnecessary bulk. Instead, it carries the spirit of a dependable workhorse, the sort of machine riders choose for everyday miles without giving it a second thought. There is comfort in knowing exactly what a motorcycle wants to be, and this one makes its intention clear. It is built for relaxed cruising, steady throttle work, and the kind of predictable handling that helps riders enjoy the road instead of wrestling the machine. In an era where many motorcycles grow heavier and more complicated, the simplicity of the Shadow Phantom stands out as a quiet form of resistance. What makes this machine a meaningful piece of the 2026 landscape is not any attempt to reinvent cruising, but its refusal to abandon the qualities that made older motorcycles so beloved. Riders who once owned early Shadows, Magnas, Goldwings, or similar 90s machines will instantly recognize the attitude here. It aims for a classic cruiser stance, planted low with a measured feel that invites long rides without fatigue. This approach resonates deeply with riders who value seat comfort, predictable handling, and the steady pulse of a dependable engine. The Shadow Phantom does not try to replace heavyweight cruisers, but it offers something different, a smaller, simpler option that still delivers the experience many riders want without unnecessary excess or high upkeep. A cruiser built on honest simplicity delivers roughly 45 horsepower from a 745 cubic centimeter V-twin, with torque measuring about 44 pound-feet. Wet weight settles near 520 pounds. The seat height rests around 25.6 inches, and the starting price lands close to $8,699. The road shifts direction here, moving from simple cruising comfort into a machine built for riders, chasing distance and open horizons. Number 6. Honda Transalp 750. Adventure-minded riders will recognize the spirit of long horizons the moment this mid-weight platform comes into view. The Transalp 750 leans toward the second group, with a steady confidence that speaks directly to riders who have spent years chasing long roads and wide horizons. It carries the spirit of the original Transalp machines that earned their reputation in the late 80s and early 90s, when reliability and comfort mattered more than flashy styling or oversized horsepower numbers. Riders who remember those years know exactly why that reputation stuck. The platform became known for its smooth power delivery, practical ergonomics, and the kind of balance that made rough pavement feel less intimidating. That feeling returns here, updated but familiar, offering a machine that respects the past while preparing for the roads ahead. The Transalp 750 does not aim to be intimidating or overwhelming. It aims to be useful. Its size makes it manageable in tight spaces while still offering the stability needed for long highway runs. Older riders appreciate that balance, especially those who are beginning to value lighter, more versatile motorcycles without giving up the comfort they have grown accustomed to. Many riders who spent decades on heavyweight cruisers eventually notice the toll that slow-speed maneuvering and parking lot wrestling can take on their shoulders and knees. The Transalp 750 offers an alternative that does not feel like a compromise. It maintains an upright riding position, open legroom, and a broad seat that encourages long days on the road. What makes the Transalp 750 stand out is the way it reconnects riders with the simple idea of exploring without strain. It is not built for aggressive cornering or extreme off-road adventures. Instead, it focuses on predictable handling, smooth throttle response, and suspension travel that absorbs rough spots without sending every bump through the rider's spine. This calm and confident nature makes it appealing to riders who want to continue logging miles without feeling beat up at the end of the day. The machine becomes a bridge between everyday practicality and weekend travel, fitting into the life of a rider who still values freedom, but wants a motorcycle that works with them rather than against them. The Transalp 750 also taps into a growing shift among experienced riders. Many riders who once swore by large touring, models are now moving toward mid-weight machines that offer enough power for highway riding but remain easy to manage at low speeds. Heat, weight, and long-term fatigue have pushed some riders to rethink what comfort really means. A motorcycle that stays cool, remains nimble, and avoids unnecessary bulk begins to make more sense with each passing season. The Transalp 750 fits that role cleanly, delivering a machine that feels steady without being heavy and comfortable without being complicated. A mid-weight adventure machine built for real-world mileage produces approximately 90 horsepower from a 755 cubic centimeter parallel twin, supported by about 55 pound-feet of torque. Wet weight comes in near 467 pounds. The seat height stands at roughly 33.7 inches, and pricing begins around $10,399. From long-range confidence, the spotlight turns toward a motorcycle engineered for everyday mastery and low-stress control. If you're already feeling the impact of these 2026 reveals, make sure you like the video and subscribe so you never miss the updates that matter. Share your thoughts below and let other riders know how these changes hit the industry. Number 5. Honda NC 750X. Every rider who values real-world dependability eventually looks for a motorcycle that trades drama for undeniable practicality. The NC 750X fits that shift in perspective with a calm and confident approach that favors long-term ownership over flash or bravado. It is a motorcycle built for riders who have spent decades testing what works and what does not. That practicality begins with its design philosophy. The NC 750X does not try to be the loudest or the most aggressive machine in the garage. Instead, it presents itself as a dependable partner for real-world riding, the kind of motorcycle a rider chooses when they want something that simply works every time they turn the key. The NC 750X appeals strongly to riders who value low-stress riding. Its low center of gravity and balanced chassis give it a planted feel at low speeds, making it comfortable in parking lots, neighborhoods, and tight roadside pull-offs. Veteran riders immediately recognize the advantage of that stability. As years pass, maneuvering a heavy motorcycle through slow-speed traffic or crowded gas stations can become more demanding. A machine that stays balanced and predictable removes fatigue before it even begins. The NC 750X leans into that benefit without apology, offering a riding experience shaped around control rather than weight. Another appealing trait of the NC 750X is its approach to long-term maintenance. Riders who enjoy turning their own wrenches appreciate a motorcycle that does not hide basic service points or require expensive specialty work. The engine produces steady, usable power without pushing unnecessary heat into the rider's legs, a detail many touring riders notice immediately. It is the kind of motorcycle that a rider can trust for daily tasks during the week and still take on a relaxed weekend ride without worrying about complex systems or unpredictable behavior. This dependability attracts riders who have grown tired of frequent visits to the service department and prefer machines that deliver steady performance over styling trends. Comfort also plays a role in the appeal of the NC750X. The seating position keeps the rider upright with room to adjust, reducing back strain during longer stretches. The foot peg placement avoids the cramped feeling that some sport-oriented motorcycles create. For older riders or those who have accumulated years of highway miles, these ergonomic details matter more than any marketing slogan. The NC750X places those priorities front and center, giving riders a motorcycle that does not fight their posture or require constant shifting to stay comfortable. A practical all-rounder known for everyday dependability offers close to 58 horsepower from a 745 cubic centimeter parallel twin and delivers roughly 50 pound-feet of torque. Wet weight hovers near 474 pounds. The seat height is about 32.7 inches, and the base price rests near $9,599. With practicality covered, the countdown swings toward the kind of lightweight cruiser that shapes riders from their very first miles. While we move through the lineup, grab your gears and accessories below. Number 4. Honda Rebel 500. There is a special kind of freedom in a lightweight cruiser that feels welcoming without ever talking down to the rider. The Rebel 500 fills that role with a quiet confidence that stands out in a market where many entry-level motorcycles feel like stepping stones rather than long-term partners. The appeal begins with its size and stance. It feels approachable without feeling small, familiar without feeling dated, and balanced in a way that encourages new riders while still giving experienced riders something to appreciate. Many riders who grew up on older Japanese standards or early cruisers will recognize the attitude here. It is simple, focused, and built around the idea that a motorcycle should be ridden, not wrestled. The Rebel 500 brings a sense of calm control to the road that older riders especially appreciate. It does not overwhelm with weight or heat, and it does not demand constant attention to stay upright in slow-speed environments. Instead, it offers a stable, easygoing platform that allows riders to focus on enjoying the ride rather than managing the motorcycle. That steady personality becomes more important with age, when comfort and confidence begin to matter, just as much as torque or styling. The Rebel 500 respects those priorities without sacrificing the character that makes cruising enjoyable. One reason this motorcycle matters in today's landscape is the way it captures younger riders. Many riders in their first years on the road begin with a machine like this and develop brand loyalty that lasts decades. That cycle once belonged to the cruiser world almost by default. Now, the Rebel 500 has stepped into that role with clarity. Its relaxed ergonomics, low seat height, and predictable handling make it one of the easiest motorcycles to learn on, yet it never feels like a toy. That balance invites new riders to stay, to grow, and eventually to move up within the same lineup. Older riders watching the industry shift understand the importance of this type of machine, because the future of motorcycling always begins at the entry level. The Rebel 500 also appeals to riders who once rode larger cruisers, but now prefer something easier to manage. After years of long trips, heavy traffic, and slow-speed maneuvering, the appeal of a lighter motorcycle grows stronger. The Rebel 500 offers that relief without losing the low-slung cruiser identity. Its ergonomics reduce stress on the back and shoulders, and its low stance keeps riders comfortable during long stretches. Riders who have accumulated years of experience often realize that a motorcycle does not need to be large to offer genuine satisfaction. The Rebel 500 fits into that realization perfectly. A lightweight cruiser designed for confidence and control puts out around 46 horsepower from its 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin, matched by approximately 31 pound-feet of torque. Wet weight measures near 408 pounds. Seat height stays low at about 27.2 inches, and the starting figure sits around $6,499. The tone changes sharply here, stepping into a platform respected worldwide for its endurance and long-haul capability. Number 3. Honda Africa Twin 1100. Long-distance travelers know the unmistakable stance of a machine built to swallow miles with calm, confident authority. The Africa Twin 1100 belongs firmly in the second group. It is a machine recognized around the world for crossing borders, climbing mountains, and handling rough pavement without breaking its stride. Riders who have spent decades chasing long-distance comfort will understand the appeal immediately. The Africa Twin 1100 offers a riding position that keeps the back straight, the shoulders relaxed, and the legs supported, allowing a rider to stay on the road longer without feeling worn down. It is the kind of motorcycle that encourages riders to take the long route home because everything about its design supports endurance. The Africa Twin 1100 carries a reputation built over generations of dependable performance. Riders who remember the early Africa Twin models know how they earned their AHA legacy. They were machines designed to take punishment without complaint, carrying riders through places where mechanical failure was not an option. That legacy matters to older American riders who value engineering that proves itself through miles rather than marketing. The modern Africa Twin 1100 continues that tradition with a level of refinement that feels natural rather than forced. The handling remains predictable, the throttle response stays smooth, and the weight is balanced in a way that makes the motorcycle feel manageable, even when loaded with luggage. A major appeal of the Africa Twin 1100 is its comfort during long days on the road. Heavy touring motorcycles offer luxury, but they also introduce fatigue through weight, heat buildup, and complex electronics. The Africa Twin 1100 avoids those traps. The seat remains supportive, the tall windscreen deflects air cleanly, and the suspension absorbs rough asphalt without transmitting every impact to the rider's spine. For riders who have felt their bodies change after decades of riding, this level of comfort can become more important than raw engine size or traditional styling. It is a motorcycle built with the understanding that comfort is not a luxury. It is a requirement for serious long-distance travel. The Africa Twin 1100 also resonates with riders who appreciate simplicity in motion. It is not a motorcycle overloaded with unnecessary features or exaggerated styling cues. Instead, it represents a clean approach to function, with controls placed where they should be and a chassis that remains composed at any reasonable speed. Riders who once favored heavyweight cruisers may find themselves surprised at how freeing it feels to ride a motorcycle that weighs less, runs cooler, and remains stable across different road conditions. The Africa Twin 1100 provides that experience without sacrificing the strength or durability needed for true touring. A long-distance explorer built for tough pavement and tall horizons delivers roughly 101 horsepower from a 1,082 cubic centimeter parallel twin, with torque near 77 pound-feet. Wet weight settles close to 532 pounds. The adjustable seat height ranges from 34.3 to 35.4 inches, and pricing begins around $14,499. The tone changes sharply here, stepping into a platform respected worldwide for its endurance and long-haul capability. Before we hit the final stretch, take a second to subscribe. These market shifts are moving fast, and staying informed will keep you ahead of every announcement, every change, and every hidden move shaping the future of modern riding. Number 2. Honda Rebel 1100. For riders who crave power without the penalty of excess weight, this modern cruiser delivers strength in a cleaner, leaner form. The Rebel 1100 fits firmly into the second category. It carries a calm confidence that does not rely on exaggerated styling or excessive weight to make its point. Instead, it takes the familiar shape of a modern cruiser and adds the kind of torque and responsiveness that experienced riders appreciate. This motorcycle feels planted without feeling heavy and quick without feeling frantic. For riders who have spent decades on the road, that balance is often the difference between a machine they ride for a season and a machine they stay loyal to for years. The Rebel 1100 stands out because it offers cruiser character without the physical strain that can build over time. Riders who spent years maneuvering heavyweight cruisers know exactly how much energy slow-speed riding can require. Parking lots, gas stations, and tight turns begin to feel more demanding with age, especially when the motorcycle pushes past several hundred pounds. The Rebel 1100 avoids that fatigue by keeping its weight manageable, while still offering the kind of low-end power that makes cruising enjoyable. It allows riders to enjoy the feeling they remember without the effort they no longer want to fight. What makes the Rebel 1100 especially appealing is its connection to freedom through simplicity. The riding position stays relaxed, with forward controls set to reduce knee tension, and a seat shape that supports long periods of riding without constant adjustments. The handlebars remain within natural reach, allowing riders to stay upright without hunching over. These small details matter to riders who put many miles behind them and understand how comfort shapes the entire ride. Comfort is not a luxury, it is the key to staying on the road longer. Another strength of the Rebel 1100 is the way it responds to throttle input. The engine delivers strong torque at lower revs, which helps the motorcycle pull smoothly from stops and climb grades without strain. This predictable behavior adds confidence for riders who value control over raw aggression. The chassis remains stable in sweeping curves, giving riders a sense of security without demanding unnecessary effort. It is the kind of motorcycle that makes riding easier, not harder, which becomes more important as years of experience shape a rider's priorities. The Rebel 1100 also appeals to riders who want power without complication. It does not overwhelm the rider with excessive electronics or an array of handlebar menus that distract from the experience. Instead, it offers clean feedback through the bars, steady engagement from the drivetrain, and a riding feel that stays grounded. For riders who came up during decades when motorcycles were defined by simplicity and metal, this straightforward approach feels familiar. It offers a connection to earlier years while still delivering modern performance. A modern, torque-rich cruiser, aimed at riders who want strength without excess, provides about 87 horsepower from a 1,084 cubic centimeter parallel twin and roughly 72 pound-feet of torque. Wet weight comes in near 465 pounds for the manual version, or roughly 487 pounds for the dual clutch version, while seat height stays around 27.5 inches, and price begins near $9,499. The tone changes sharply here, stepping into a platform respected worldwide for its endurance and long-haul capability. Number 1. Honda Gold Wing. Touring legends are not born overnight. This platform earned its reputation through decades of unmatched comfort and endurance. For decades, it has stood as the benchmark for riders who measure a machine not by flash, but by how many honest miles it can carry without complaint. The Gold Wing earned its reputation the same way veteran riders earned theirs, through time, consistency, and a refusal to cut corners. It is a motorcycle built for the rider who has crossed states, not just towns, and who knows that long-distance comfort comes from engineering, not advertising. The Gold Wing has always understood that truth, and the 2026 continuation of this platform reinforces why it remains one of the most respected touring machines ever built. The Gold Wing carries a sense of authority that does not need to be shouted. It is not built to intimidate or overwhelm. Instead, it is built to take the weight off a rider's shoulders, to make long miles feel lighter, and to keep fatigue at bay even after hours on the road. Riders who have spent years riding heavyweight, touring motorcycles know that comfort does not come from the biggest frame or the loudest paint scheme. It comes from wind protection that works, seats that support the rider's posture, and engine behavior that stays calm no matter how long the highway stretches. The Gold Wing brings those qualities together in a way few other machines can match. One of the most significant strengths of the Gold Wing is its smooth, low-vibration engine character. Riders who have logged thousands of miles understand how intrusive engine buzz can become over time. The Gold Wing avoids that entirely, delivering a ride that feels refined without feeling soft. That refinement translates into less fatigue in the wrists, lower back, and shoulders. It also helps riders maintain focus during long stretches, especially when covering distances from dawn to dusk. Touring should feel purposeful, not punishing, and the Gold Wing ensures that remains true. Comfort on the Gold Wing extends far beyond its seat. The fairing channels air cleanly around the rider, reducing buffeting without creating excessive heat. The floorboard and peg layout supports natural leg positioning, allowing riders to adjust without strain. The handlebars remain within easy reach, keeping the rider upright rather than hunched over. Over time, these small ergonomic choices become the difference between a good ride and a ride that ends early. Riders who understand the value of these details appreciate how intentionally the Gold Wing is built around long-distance endurance. The Gold Wing delivers stability that builds confidence at any speed. Its low center of gravity aids slow maneuvering, while the chassis stays steady on the highway, even with luggage or a passenger. Riders tired of heavy, awkward handling appreciate how it makes long days achievable, turning demanding miles into comfortable, trustworthy travel for seasoned riders seeking lasting comfort always. A long-running touring benchmark built for serious miles produces close to 124 horsepower from an 1,833 cubic centimeter flat six, paired with approximately 125 pound-feet of torque. Wet weight varies by trim, but centers around 836 pounds. Seat height holds at about 29.3 inches, and the opening price sits near $25,300. That's the breakdown of Honda's 2026 lineup, and why so many riders think this could be a real turning point for Harley-Davidson. But you've been in the saddle long enough to have your own take, and I want to hear it. Did Honda make the smarter move this year, or is Harley still holding the cards where it counts? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if this helped you, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive.